Welcome everybody to a NERDWatch proper edition here on this Tuesday evening, May 2nd,
You're
2017.
You're gonna get proper NERDWatch.
I, of course, am G Money. I am joined by the original, the OG crew of the NERDWatch. Todd Bernardi is in the house.
Professor Barry.
Technically, he's not the OG crew, but we'll say he is. Todd Bernardi is in the house tonight. He is the comic book extraordinaire, the man who is responsible for amazing comics like the Kukui Project, Hard Candy Aftermath, and Chicken Thunder Groove Bone.
No, Disco Thunder Groove Bone.
Oh, same thing.
It's different.
Oh, it's different.
Thunder Groove Bone.
Also joining us for this episode is the punk rock superstar, the horror aficionado, and the man who I envy to be. It is Gannon. He's in the house tonight as well.
Envy to be me?
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Because you get all the ladies.
You get all the ladies.
I do.
Yeah, it's weird.
I do.
Yeah.
Why
and then
everybody laughing so hard?
And then joining us tonight is the gaming guru himself, the man who is knee deep in Final Fantasy 15. It is Format. He's in the house tonight as well.
I like RPG games where you fish and cook. Yeah, Lika?
Yeah. And then, last but not least, the chairman,
the
chairman of the comic book board, and the man who is responsible for Maui Comics and Collectibles, and the man who is currently on a mission to save Hyrule. It is the one and only
3 divine
Alika.
beasts, baby.
Yeah.
Compete with that, Calamity Ganon.
And joining us as a special guest tonight, a special guest correspondent, a very talented man, far above his talent.
The likes of Todd
far
Bernardi.
above exceeds anybody's in this room.
A real comic.
A real comic book artist. James Silvani is in the house tonight as well. The man who is responsible for putting together some beautiful artwork in the Darkwing Duck comics. Hashtag Save Darkwing. And he's going to join us tonight and be a nerd with us on the show this evening. First off, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Want you guys to know that you guys can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/NERDWatch. You guys can follow us on Twitter at NERDWatch Nation. You guys can follow us on YouTube at NERDWatch Nation. Watch our exclusive videos. You can follow us on Instagram at _NERDWatch. And if the spirit moves, you guys can donate to us at patreon.com/NERDWatch. There are donations available to you guys for as little as $1. So check that out when you can, if you would like to.
Yeah, I got $1.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, James. Put it right up on that table, pal.
Because you're a real comic book artist.
Fantastic. He carries money in his wallet. A comic book artist carries money in his wallet? That's so weird.
I don't even carry money in my wallet.
Thanks for the donation, James. I do want to, first of all...
He was actually just scratching his side. He wasn't reaching for his wallet.
Okay. I do want to get this out of the way really quick. Coming up this Thursday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you and with us, because we are going to be premiering the double feature of the Guardians of the Galaxy this Thursday, 4:30 p.m. We're going to be watching Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, presented by the NERDWatch. So make sure you guys join us this Thursday, May 4th at 4:30 p.m. Get your tickets now. They are currently available. We'd love to have you. We've got prizes to give away. We've got posters to give away as well. Going to be auctioning off posters courtesy of Regal Maui Mall Megaplex. You're going to want to join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. James, hopefully you can make it if you're not too busy.
Sure.
You know, most good comic book artists are always busy.
What are you inviting him for? He was going to show up dressed as Groot.
Not anymore, I'm not. Spoil my surprise.
What time does it start?
4:30 is the first show, and then there's going to be like maybe a 5 or 7 minute intermission between 1 and 2.
Okay.
So be ready, because we got some prizes to give away, and we're going to talk about all the particulars after the show, because we don't really know what's going on yet, but we'll be prepared once we get there for sure, right, Alika?
Yeah.
Why not? I don't think anyone has ever looked at us and imagined us being prepared.
Right.
Those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So make sure that you guys please join us this Thursday, May 4th at Regal Maui.
We've got actually really special giveaways this time.
Fantastic.
Marvel First Believers, True Believers comics for people to get into the book. So.
And
I'm going to be bringing tree branches.
Okay.
I'm just gonna bring potted plants.
Good for you.
Without the plants.
Yeah. Right.
It's a Groot starter kit.
Whatever,
it's a Groot starter
whatever
kit.
rumors that you're hearing, Chris Pratt will not be there.
He's not?
No.
But Vin Diesel will.
Vin Diesel's going to be there?
No,
Yeah.
he's not.
Is he?
No,
He's gonna be
he's
about
not.
Well,
as
he
present
heard
as
he heard The
was.
Rock was here, so he decided not to come.
Oh,
Is he gonna?
Is that
Is he
what
gonna
he did?
say that one line that he knows?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not whether you make it by an inch or a mile. Oh, wait, that's the wrong series.
No, it's he lives a quarter mile at a time. Got it. All right. Well, thank you guys.
The references you guys are making.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for this evening's episode. This
Furious.
should be a lot of fun. Before we get into the show proper this evening,
That's
let's
my jam.
talk about this week in comic books. It is 20% off Tuesday here at Maui Comics and Collectibles.
Love it.
And of course, tomorrow or Wednesday, whenever you're hearing this, every single Wednesday is New Comic Book Wednesday right here at
Full
Maui.
price new comic book
Full
Wednesday. You gotta
price
remember
New
the whole
Comic Book
title, man.
Wednesday
They
at
bumped those prices way
333
back up to full
Dairy
price.
Road
It's like
in
a Tribe Called
Kahalui.
Quest. You say the whole thing.
333 Dairy Road in Kahalui. Every single week, brand new comics right here for your pleasure and for your collection at Maui Comics and Collectibles.
Pleasurable.
Mr. Alika, chairman of the comic book board, what is brand new this week
Yeah.
in comic
We've
books?
got, speaking of the Guardians, all new Guardians of the Galaxy #1
No.
coming out.
That's oddly timed.
Weird.
Hey, wait, hold on. Are you going in alphabetical order?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
Aquaman #22. You didn't think that was important, Todd. Back
It's
to
Aquaman.
Back to the Future. Biff to the Future #4 of 6.
What is that?
It's like a side Back to the Future book,
right.
which they've been pretty fun.
All right.
Bane Conquest #1 of 12.
Bane? As
You
in
know
the
that?
Bane?
The
Yeah,
Bane.
he goes on a spree.
I feel like you guys
if you
are
will.
just trying to get me to do it. And I'm not going to do it.
No. Wouldn't technically, if it's the comic book Bane, wouldn't you have to do it in a Spanish accent?
Right? Yeah.
Are you saying Tom Hardy's not doing a Spanish accent in Dark Knight Rises?
He's doing his best Spanish accent.
Batman #22, which is a continuation of the Button story
Okay.
featuring the Watchmen.
Cool. Awesome.
Black Bolt #1 is coming out, which you also didn't underline. Thanks for that, Todd.
It's because it's another #1
Sure.
that by Marvel that's going to be
They're all
selling.
look. It's all #1s when you're dealing with Marvel.
It's going to be selling
Grow up,
20,000 issues. It's going to get canceled by issue 14.
There you go. Do you work for Marvel?
Well, no, not yeah. I'm part of their marketing department.
Cyborg #12.
James, you do notice his disgust in his voice, yes?
When dealing with the Marvel titles.
Yes. I just was wondering if you noticed it.
Deathstroke #18. Let's see. I can't trust your underlining job, Todd. The Fall and Rise of Captain Atom #5 of 6. Flintstones #11. The most woke comic in comics, y'all.
Did you see the? I saw the cover of this week's of this new one.
It was actually James and Aaron having a conversation that brought to my attention one of the funnier panels where, what was it? We just committed a
We just witnessed a genocide, Bonnie.
That was a legit line in the Flintstones comic.
This new cover looks like the fall of Saddam Hussein with that statue that's
Really?
coming down. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, a lot of historical parallels
It's weird.
in the modern day
So
to
weird.
Flintstones time.
Weird. Anyway.
Ghostbusters 101 #2. G.I. Joe #5.
Wait, what? Wait. 101 #2?
The title is Ghostbusters 101.
Oh, it's Ghostbusters 101.
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Try to keep up, man.
I'm sorry.
Green Arrow 22, Green Lanterns 22. Let's see. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout #1. Wow.
They're doing 3 Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy Mother Entropy #1 of three new #1s for
three
Guardians.
That should be the name of the next show. The next
Why are there
movie,
three
Mother
new
Entropy.
#1s?
Mother Entropy.
So that Mission Breakout, that's the name of the ride at the ride at Disneyland.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. They got
So maybe this is going with
Yeah,
new
kind of like
ride,
how they
yeah.
did the Haunted House comic too, right?
Kind of how they did the Pirates
See
of the
how
Caribbean
James brings
movie.
context to these comics? Unlike some people.
I'm sure the fans really appreciate us morons just smashing aimlessly around.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure.
That's why I'm making the big bucks.
Thanks, James.
Harley Quinn #19. Let's see. Jean Grey #1 is coming out. Iron Fist #3 still kicking. Jessica Jones #8.
Name of the title?
No, just Iron Fist #3.
Still,
I'm just saying. Three issues is a long run for Marvel. Give them some credit.
That's awesome, though. That should be the name of the next comic. Iron Fist is still kicking.
Still kicking.
All right, guys, grow up.
Right.
I want that to be every book.
We got that MLP Friendship is Magic #53.
Oh.
Yeah.
for all you bronies out there. Outcast, number 27, for all you Kirkman fans out there.
Kirkman.
Woo woo.
That was the Raptor. Sorry.
Reggie and Me, number 505. It's a Archie comic that nobody's following.
Way to sell it, Alika.
I mean, everybody knows who Archie is, but it's so hard to sell an Archie comic nowadays. The Riverdale show is doing
Not
well,
if you
though.
go to a grocery store.
Yeah, if you got the square bounds. But the new Fiona Staples originated Archie series from last year.
Yeah.
The main run Archie's doing right, and Riverdale's doing okay because of the show.
How did that Adam Hughes, Betty and Veronica book do?
That was doing good in the first couple of issues. Does he still do the covers?
I thought he was doing the interior stuff.
Oh, really?
The interior as well.
He does the interior?
Wow.
But he only puts out like one book every 10 years, so he's...
Yeah, and that's it right now.
Adam Hughes, not fast? That's weird.
went to the Art Adams School of Fast Drawing.
You pay for quality, sir.
We've got
Quantity.
Secret Empire number 1 of 9, which Todd definitely did not circle.
Which one?
Secret Empire number 1 of 9. Nazi
Oh.
Cap.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder
You're not excited? You're not
How did I-
excited for this epic crossover Marvel event?
Yeah.
You know what I love is that they already flat out made a statement saying, "Please be patient."
yeah.
Because there's
They're just
already
giving
a
up the-
backlash to the book. Issue 1, and they're
Yeah.
already dealing with backlash. They're like, "Please be patient and read the book."
Spider-Gwen number 19. You underline that one.
That's because that's the last issue of Spider-Gwen.
Oh, is it?
They're going to cancel it after this.
Spider-Man number 16. Spider-Man 23. Spider-Man Deadpool number 17. Spook House by Eric Powell number 4.
Ooh.
Superman number 22.
Yeah.
We've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ongoing number 69. So that's awesome.
69.
Your favorite number.
Of course.
It's true.
Of course.
I bet.
child.
I wonder if Raph is going to hire another hooker in this one.
All right, enough. Underdog number 1. Based on the cartoon. Unstoppable Wasp number 5. Valerian promo comic.
Valerian is getting a promo comic?
I'm getting 30 of them. Maybe we can give them away at the theater if you want.
That's weird. Okay.
Up to you,
That's
man.
cool. Valerian is...
That's pretty weird too.
Yeah. Well, it's a promo comic, but I mean, don't you have... Wasn't that already translated into English already? The Valerian, the actual original
Nobody read it
But-
here is the point.
Yeah, the Americanized versions are, different.
Who's
It's
doing?
something Luc Besson liked that he decided to make a movie out of, so now we're going to find out about it.
Yeah, right. That's
We've
true. It's a
got,
good point.
Nobody knew about that book beforehand.
Walking Dead number 167. Youngblood number 1. The re-envisioning of Rob Liefeld's.
Yeah! Where you finally get to see their feet.
That's awesome. I follow Rob Liefeld on Instagram, and he actually made a crack about something. Oh, you can see the feet in this cover or something like that.
And street lamps are the same height as the main characters.
Obviously not drawn by Liefeld.
And finally, X-Men Gold number 3, which is the final issue
the final
for
issue.
artist. What is his name? Syed
Hadid.
I don't know what his last name is.
Yeah. The last one.
Yeah, that no longer.
Before, the last
not
one.
gonna work here anymore.
Yeah. not gonna work here anymore. That's him. That's that guy. Anyway, you can pick up any one of those comics right here on Wednesday. Brand new comic book day here at Maui Comics and Collectibles, 333 Dairy Road in
Oh, that's a glaring
Kahului.
omission.
Yeah, what?
There's Underdog number 1 coming out.
He just said that.
Oh, I didn't hear him. I'm sorry.
But I just wanted you to see the cover.
Oh.
I thought that you were.
See, that's why I was even I don't pay attention.
We're shop. I thought we were shopping.
No.
So wait a minute. Which are those Underdog comics technically independents?
Yeah, they're put out by
American mythology.
Yeah,
comics
it's
or
like this
something.
weird off. Like, I think that's how a lot of independent title publishers are getting their start. Is they find some licensed property that they can, and then try to tag all their other titles.
They
So they
find
can get
some
a movie
healthy
made.
host that they can cling on.
Basically, I mean, it works. It worked for Dark Horse. It worked for Image
IDW.
and IDW. Everybody.
Image doesn't do a lot of licensed material anymore, but they did.
They did.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a Ninja Turtles run. They had
Eric
they had
Larson was on the Ninja Turtles run
Yeah.
too. And then I think they had G.I. Joe.
Yeah, they did have G.I. Joe for a while. It works. That's a sound way to make some money. License.
Keeps me in.
Right?
Yeah, keeps you working. So.
Keep James working for sure.
I did Richie Rich comics a couple of years ago. That was
Who'd you do it for?
Ape Entertainment.
Oh, okay.
They had a Harvey license at the time, so I was doing Casper and Richie Rich comics. So
Were you,
nice.
were you trying to do it in the original
no,
style, or is
no.
it
They
different?
they wanted. That was the whole point. Is it was I didn't know this, so that a lot of the Harvey properties are owned by DreamWorks.
Oh, really?
And so they were licensing out and they were making new new animated versions of these shows, and so they wanted comics to go with it, and so we were doing them in the style of the new
cartoon.
show. The only one that didn't have a new show with it was the Richie Rich stuff, so they kind of gave us carte blanche to do.
Oh, really?
Oh, cool.
To do a new style to it.
Now I wanna look that up.
The Harvey protagonists seem to always look the same.
Yeah.
They had the same
face,
facial
like,
feature, same
but then
facial
different
features.
hair and
right.
Well, the story behind that is because they were all done. They were all animated first. They all got the look from the Casper the Friendly Ghost cartoons.
Right.
And so when they were turning these things into comic, they say, okay, we want everything to look like the Casper cartoon. So that's why, Casper looks like a dead version of Richie Rich.
Right.
So,
right.
so that's his story.
That's where Casper came from.
That's a whole new lineage
You
for.
die, you can't take it with you. You turn into a friendly ghost.
That's pretty awesome. So make sure you guys come pick up your comics here at 333 Dairy Road in Kahului. It is Maui Comics and Collectibles. Now, James,
Yeah.
so glad you could be with us this evening.
So glad you guys opened the door for me.
Absolutely. We opened the door for you.
Your
We're
name's
trying to
not
keep
Todd.
closing it in on time. But it doesn't work. So first off, can we address the 800-pound gorilla in the room? And I'm not talking about me. The wrist. You have a bandage over that wrist.
Oh,
what happened?
Yeah, no, that...
Is it a drawing injury?
Well, no, there was this 800-pound gorilla. No, this was a drawing injury. I had was finishing up doing some Darkwing comics, and I had two other projects going on at the same time, and putting in 15, 16-hour days, and it all kind of caught up with me. So.
Ugh. Do you comic book artists that get frequent work? Do you guys? Why are you laughing?
I thought I smelled that dick there.
No. Do comic book artists tend to suffer from arthritis and or carpal tunnel and or hand injuries often, or is that a thing?
I know that I do. It just really depends on how much you work. There's people who are. This subject came up the other day. I don't know how many people follow Dan Slott's Twitter feed, but
For those that are unfamiliar, Dan Slotts is
the writer of Spider-Man.
Spider. Okay.
Yeah, and he the subject was going back and forth about how comic books are formatted now. How usually there's when there's a number one, like you're talking about Marvel does number ones all the time. They put a superstar artist on the number one issue. He stays on for maybe 4 issues, and then there's 2 issues of filler, just to get a trade's worth of comics in there. And it must be nice to be one of these superstar artists where you only have to do 4 issues a year, and that's you're good, and then you move on to your next project and let somebody else fill it up until the sales fall off completely, and then you start with a new number one with a new new superstar artist. So anyway, not to toot my own horn, but
Please do.
I'm doing an issue every month, sometimes more, and I'm happy to get the work.
So that's more than a page a day then.
Yeah. Plus, I have other, and along the way, you can't. The sad truth of it is you can't make a living doing comics. I would consider myself, say, a journeyman comic book artist. I'm working wherever the work takes me. I'm not, I'm not doing Spider-Man or Batman every month. I'm doing, whatever work I can get. So I'm working for the regular page rates that say a Joe Books or an IDW or something like that paid pretty good money, but it's not really enough, especially to live on Maui on. So I got to do comic book conventions, commissions on the side, doing whatever, and so yeah, I'm busting my ass pretty much 7 days a week.
Yeah.
To keep up, and now it's just this has finally caught up with me.
Wow.
So
Todd, how are your hands?
They look like a baby's hands.
How smooth are your hands?
These two
he's
fingers.
been touching my leg the whole time.
Very soft.
Very soft.
These two fingers, I have like motion trouble with these, and then I get pains in the elbow, and then around the shoulder blade and up the neck.
You gotta watch that elbow thing, because I had bursitis about 2 years ago from just working on books.
Isn't there like a pillow you can get for that?
You can get a pillow for pretty much anything these days, but yeah, that was
You get like a hemorrhoid pillow. That's inflatable.
that doesn't go on the elbow though.
Yeah.
An ass pillow for your elbow.
Yeah.
We're over here trading comic book artist war stories.
This is like that scene of Lethal Weapon 3.
I got a splinter.
yeah, it's got a splinter. It's crazy.
Yeah, I try to get up and move every 4 or 5 hours and do some stretches and stuff.
Crazy.
But I don't always do it.
That is crazy. Wow.
You don't look like you're very disciplined.
I'm not. Thank you for pointing that out.
I'm not.
Yeah.
That's true. Good point. Good point. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to some nerd news this evening. Let's start with Gannon, because Gannon, I tell you what, Gannon, before we even started the show tonight, Gannon was fired up. He was fired up.
I was?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. And it was.
Yeah.
Was I?
Yeah, you were pretty
Fired up.
You was like, what are we talking about tonight? Because I got some stuff to talk about.
That's what he was saying.
Oh, I forgot all that already.
Oh,
The way that the alien guy came in and used his face hugger.
Oh, but yeah, everybody knows about that.
well, there are a couple stories, Gannon, that you were please share with the group so we can all respond to.
Oh, you
whatever.
put it on me now?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Since when does this get put on me all the time?
Do it, Gannon.
Do it.
Do it.
Well, I was just talking about how funny it was that after last week's pod, all the big announcements came out for all different
Every
kinds of things.
single one of them. And it happens every
with
week.
one of the big key ones being the split.
We may have to move this podcast to
to Wednesday
Friday or something.
Yeah.
Something later in the week.
Yeah, seriously. So what was it?
I said it.
What did you say?
The split / Unbreakable sequel finally got officially announced.
I heard it was. When I heard.
I mean,
that
nobody
it
was surprised, but it's official.
But when I heard it was
They're
a
gonna call it
trilogy,
Unsplittable.
it was so weird. It was so weird that I didn't put Unbreakable in that equation when I first read it. I thought Split, then they were going to do something else, and then they were going to do another movie. So for some reason, it didn't click
It's
in my
all
head until
connected.
afterwards that it was like Unbreakable, Split, and the trilogy is going to be the next movie. If for some reason it didn't click in my brain.
Oh, so you mean as in Unbreakable 2 is the next thing?
Correct, right? Isn't that what it is?
No. I think he'd always mentioned that. Well, if you ever listen to Shyamalan, he always said that he actually had the character of the Horde kind of figured out even when he did Unbreakable. He just couldn't figure out how to work it into the first movie.
Right.
So I think it was just his way of sneaking his way into getting Unbreakable 2 because nobody was really that excited about it.
Right. James, did you watch Split? Are you done?
I haven't seen Split yet.
Haven't
No,
seen
Oh man, we can't talk about it anymore. We don't want to know that.
ruin it for
We
James.
kind of did already. Damn.
no, it's okay. I'm gonna. It's on video now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got released.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll watch it this weekend. I'll come back next week. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, it is. It's on a streaming and Blu-ray, I think, as of today, as of now. So that is some interesting news as far as M. Night Shyamalan.
And they're all back too. Even Anna Taylor-Joy is in it as well.
Really, surprisingly enough,
I don't know how her character would keep on evolving in that story, but she's in it.
how did M. Night Shyamalan go from a premier filmmaker to turning into a joke in Hollywood, and then now he's back as a premier filmmaker? It's so strange.
I don't know if I'd say that.
I would, considering. Think about it.
I think he's taking advantage of like his first hit. In a while.
I give all the credit to After Earth for bringing his career back.
I never saw After Earth, but I'm pretty sure that last Airbender one was the one that really kicked him down.
Don't watch After Earth.
Or I take it back. It was The Happening that got that ball rolling.
Can I tell you something?
Listen, all you Village haters.
I actually liked
The Village wasn't bad.
I actually liked The Village.
And what's interesting is that The Happening would have been a great Twilight Zone episode, not an hour and 45-minute movie. It would have been a great 30-minute
Mark
episode.
Wahlberg playing a scientist.
Yeah, right.
What, bro? Where's that beaker, bro?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
About as believable as Jessica Alba playing a scientist.
That's actually, for some reason, a little more believable. How you doing, Beaker?
Are you forgetting the classic Denise Richards as scientist?
How dare I forget that? What movie was that?
That was
James Bond.
James Bond. The world is not enough.
She was a nuclear physicist in the world.
Because when you look at Denise Richards, you're like, nuclear physicist.
What was her name in that movie?
Did she try to pronounce her job title in that movie?
something?
Yes, Christmas. Her name was Christmas. That's right.
Christmas Hug and Kiss.
Yes, Todd. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Open all your presents.
Yeah. So it's nice to know that we're going to see a trilogy for Unbreakable. Very cool stuff. Also in the news, fantastic.
There was only one movie.
Yeah, I know. That's what I thought too before I read it. There's also one other piece of information that I know Gannon is fired up about, and that happens to be Ridley Scott deciding to
Kicking that bum Neil Blomkamp off of his
took Neil Blomkamp
legacy.
off of his kicked him off right
as
off
he
his
should,
perch
as he should.
and told him where the Alien franchise really belongs, in the pocket of Ridley
It's
Scott.
Ridley Scott country, baby.
So, for those that aren't familiar, Gannon, could you tell them what Neil Blomkamp's idea was for Alien 5?
we don't know the particulars, but he was basically going to wash away the third and fourth film, and the movie was going to pick up however many years later. I guess however many it would take to have Sigourney Weaver and Michael Biehn back in the film, but I think that's the idea. If I'm not mistaken, his premise is that it was going to come back to Earth, and it would just be. Why are you staring at me? But I think that's what his premise was. It started off as storyboards. I think he kind of got fired up about concept art, so he's working on some of that, then developed a story out of that.
Right.
And he worked with Sigourney on, was it Chappie?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I guess he's talked to her about it. She got kind of interested, and it spitballed from there. Apparently, James Cameron has seen the script, so which Ridley Scott says doesn't exist.
Wow.
Really interesting. Ridley Scott says that script doesn't exist, but 2 people have read it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott. Jeez.
Well, that's easy.
That's crazy.
He
You
looks
read
like
stuff that don't exist.
He
I do it
probably
all the time.
I think he's retroactively taking over the Alien franchise as his Star Wars. Is kind of how it seems to me.
Well,
Because he'd always said when he made the first Alien, he always said when he made the first Alien, that was one of his key inspirations. Making a lived-in world in a futuristic kind of setting.
to be fair to Ridley, though, that is his baby. So,
In what way, though? He made one film and then washed his hands of the franchise for 30 years.
yes.
Almost 40, if you think about it.
He picked up where the Dune adaptation by Jodorowsky left off. He took all those production guys off that movie and did Aliens.
But you have to be...
He even took the guy that wrote the script for Aliens, was supposed to do the adaptation
But
for
you
Dune.
have to give him credit for trying to do something new, even in the face of people wanting him to come back and do Alien. He went to do Prometheus. So that took a lot of gumption for him to do, even if Prometheus was a frustratingly elegant movie to see, for sure.
But the thing is, it's only visually interesting. You end up with the same movie every time.
Yeah.
Somebody shows up to a planet, there's something there, somebody gets infected, aliens show up, kill everybody, maybe one person lives. You can only tell that story so many ways. I'm pretty sure even he's realized that he's going to keep telling the same story every time because there's only so much mileage you can get out of that concept.
They've done 5 movies on it.
Yeah, but they're all the same if you think about it.
I'm not saying they're all different.
But they're all
I'm saying they've repeated themselves for five movies.
To give them credit, they're all visually interesting movies in and of themselves, no matter how good or bad they are.
Yeah.
But if it really Scott's making them all, I mean...
Well, I mean,
He's got 2 more, I think, planned after Covenant.
Do you remember?
Is that right?
Yeah, remember though, we were gonna get Prometheus 2, and then he took a hard right, and
It was going to be called Paradise Lost, I think, originally.
Right.
I think it's the same movie, but I think he realized what people really want is a movie with the name Alien in the title.
Yeah, James, are you a fan of the Alien franchise?
Absolutely.
Which is your favorite film?
Aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah.
The plural. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
All
was
right.
Because of Newt, right?
Newt. Yeah.
Newt,
Yeah.
Newt had it going on.
Actually, my
See, we would have had Newt in the Blomkamp movie. She would have been there
She would
too.
have been there too. I'm actually I'm with James on the fact that one of the shining stars of that movie that never really ever gets talked about in Aliens is Paul Reiser. He is fantastic in that movie.
He's great. He's scarier than the aliens.
He is a creep.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. He's fantastic in that film.
You know, I went back and watched the first one for Alien about a month ago, and as great as it was, there was a lot of start and stop in that movie.
Yes,
there was a lot
agreed.
of slow bits, and then jump down your throat bits.
There's a lot of that. It had that 70s sci-fi vibe where it was a very slow burn.
Yeah. But Aliens was just from beginning to end. That was just pure roller coaster.
It was an absolute adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
And then of course everybody disregarded 3.
No. I was actually going to jump in and say that I enjoyed that because I'm the age where it's okay to say I enjoyed that. I didn't grow up with Alien or Aliens. Alien 3 was kind of the first theatrical release I saw of that series, and I enjoyed it.
Okay. I enjoyed.
But apparently, it's not okay to enjoy it.
I enjoyed the producer's cut of that film. The producer's cut is a little longer, a little better. It's a little more streamlined. David Fincher disowns that movie entirely.
I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Is it that bad?
Didn't they take it away from him?
No, they took it. The studio literally took the film away from Fincher, took it away from him, and his vision was never met. So that's why he walked away from it.
Well, I mean, he also jumped in on a moving train. The thing was going for a while, before he was attached to it.
True.
So, I mean, it wasn't necessarily a rushed job, but he was jumping onto something that was already moving.
Yeah.
Is that his first movie?
I think that was his directorial debut.
Yeah,
because he was doing music videos before that.
I think Resurrection is probably the one that's okay to just disregard. 'Cause that one didn't even have respect for itself.
I have.
What I would recommend before you get it any further, what I would recommend if you don't have the Blu-rays for Alien, get them because the documentaries behind all the films
yes, fantastic.
are really fascinating.
They're
And they go over some of the concepts that they were going to do for the 4th Alien film, actually the 3rd and 4th Alien film, and they're not necessarily better, but it's crazy to see all the different ideas that they went through before they finished the movies that came out.
I am I'm actually a very big fan of Alien Resurrection only because I'm a fan of that director. It's a French director. He did some great movies like
It's a very French movie. It's weird how French it is.
It is extremely
You're talking
French.
about Resurrection?
Yeah, Resurrection is directed by Jeannot, and he's the guy who directed City of Lost Children. He directed a great film called Delicatessen.
Amelie.
Amelie, which
That's
is
a
another
great
great
one.
I see the
movie.
resemblance right away.
Amelie is fantastic.
That's him.
That's him. It's his movie.
Amelie and Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's awesome.
And if you
I can't remember which one came first now that I think about it, but
no, Resurrection
Well,
came
obviously
before Amelie.
Amelie first because how else did
I
they get
honestly
the
don't
inspiration
know.
for Resurrection?
Amelie might have came out after.
Yeah, we should have
You want me to look it up?
research guy look it up. But
We also got a commission request on the Facebook Live
for
from a
what?
customer for James.
Oh, really?
From one of our good friends, Marco, actually, who
Oh,
has
yeah?
a comic YouTube channel.
Okay.
But
Draw me
he
an
requested
alien is what he said.
a Mickey Mouse alien.
Wow.
A Mickey Mouse
Yeah.
commission and a Mickey Mouse split commission.
Just Mickey Mouse and chest
Well, I haven't
bursts are
seen
coming out.
Split for crying out.
No rest for the wicked. Apparently, they don't give a crap about your injury, James.
Like,
Yeah. Do it left hand. Let's see it.
Pull the
Let's see you do
Frazetta.
that. Yeah. Fantastic.
Oh, so speaking of French directors, all right, there was a great. There's a Twitter feed called One Perfect Shot. I don't know if you've ever
No.
heard or not. It goes to a website, One Perfect Shot, and it just talks about the one perfect shot in a movie.
Yeah.
But they do a lot of film analysis on there, and they did an analysis yesterday of the director who directed the movie Mystery Men.
Oh, Shanker.
Yeah.
Kinka Usher.
Yeah, that was it. Directed. That was his only movie.
Yep. Yeah.
I had no idea about the story behind this. Like, he was a commercial director for the longest time. Made Mystery Men. Apparently, they say the big thing was make it look like a Tim Burton movie, and that was the only direction that the studio
That I
gave
didn't
him.
know.
And it had all these things going. I love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
I found no fault with that. I didn't see why it didn't make any money, but that apparently, the career killer.
Is probably more suited to come out now than it was then.
Yeah.
No flaming carrot in it. That's why.
Well,
It's
true.
based on the flaming carrot set of characters.
It is, but ironically enough, for format, Mystery Men, underrated classic for sure.
Amelie came out 4 years after Alien Resurrection.
I knew Alien Resurrection came out first.
And do you guys know who wrote Alien Resurrection?
I do not at this time. Who was it?
James Levine.
Hey,
Joss Whedon.
what?
Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon wrote the
He's
movie.
the one who came up with the white alien saying "Mama."
Yeah, the clone.
It didn't
Sigourney
say
Weaver.
mama.
It said "Mama."
It did not.
It cried.
No, it
Okay,
cried,
another,
yes.
another
It had-
interesting. Joss Whedon. I didn't know this until a few weeks ago. Wrote Toy Story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was like 3 writers on it, but he was one of the
He
writers.
co-wrote it.
No
Yeah.
Co-wrote
wonder
it.
why that guy.
He wrote a lot of weird stuff you wouldn't think about. I think he also wrote Roseanne. At
He
one
did. He
point
wrote Roseanne
when
as
he got-
well, yeah.
When he got started.
Yeah.
Really?
A lot of stuff you wouldn't think.
Yeah, he did. He wrote
That's
a
kind of
ton
where
of
I think he
stuff.
started that way.
He was also on a little television show called Firefly or
What is
That
that?
one-
Didn't that one
bell.
get canceled? Forget about it.
like a Marvel
It
comic
got
book.
canceled, so it must have sucked.
And then a little thing called Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right. And now Joss Whedon is spending his time mocking,
Counting his
young
money.
girls that are cancer patients and having to apologize on Twitter for it. So
Wait. Say that again. What?
He mocks cancer patients.
he ended up mocking some teenage girl cancer patient.
Where did this come out? I haven't heard about
You didn't
this.
see that? You didn't
She
see
had
the
it
big
coming.
controversy? Horrible. No, you didn't see the controversy about that? He ended up having to apologize on Twitter and everything.
Joss Whedon seems like the last guy that
Yeah.
would ever mock not just a woman, but a woman with cancer. For God's
I'll
sake.
show it to you after the
On
show.
cancer.
I'll show it to you after the show.
So isn't he spending his time doing the Batgirl movie now?
Yeah,
doing the Batgirl movie.
He's
yeah.
doing
Yeah,
Batgirl.
he is doing Batgirl. He has a way with female characters. That's his thing. So he's-
Sounds dirty the way you just said that.
I did make it sound
You
dirty.
seen
Didn't I?
Dollhouse? Of course it's dirty.
Dollhouse is one of those
Underrated
shows.
classic.
Did he write
No.
Dollhouse?
Yes.
Yeah, he started that.
Yeah, he
that's
started
Welcome
Dollhouse.
to the Dollhouse.
No, he
No,
did
Dollhouse.
the
one
TV
with,
show
the one
Dollhouse with Eliza Dushku in
Eliza
it.
Dushku.
Eliza Dushku.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You
I
never
thought you were
saw
talking
that?
about Welcome to the Dollhouse.
No.
Which
That was,
I loved.
that was the one where they're all secret, like almost like secret
I
agents.
think they wipe their brains all the time.
Wipe their brains every time. Yeah. Never.
And they implant false skills and memories, and then you can hire them to do stuff.
So Fox Force 5.
It was it was what he came up with after Firefly.
Yeah, yeah, it was. And Dollhouse was actually a good show. Once again, canceled. So ironic.
Like a what?
Marvel comic book.
Do I want to ask about the Marvel?
Well, here's the thing.
Marvel up here,
Well,
or-
James, since you're here,
It's best you don't get started with that.
But since you're here and since we're already on the subject of Marvel, before we get back into more of the show, do you think diversity is killing Marvel Comics right now? No.
Let me get out my kettle of fish here and open that up.
No, I'm just kidding.
He actually wants to continue working in the industry. I don't think he wants to go on
I
record
know.
saying anything against the company that might potentially hire him.
I don't think so.
Was that a discussion that was in the
Well,
on
that
the podcast?
I'm surprised you didn't see the news. One of the big wigs over at Marvel had
The vice president.
The vice president had said that.
He was there was a vice president, and it was the CEO of marketing.
Yeah.
he
The
said,
guy's last name is Gabriel.
He said that diversity was killing
Was the
comic
main
book sales.
problem
Was the
with
main problem because
Marvel.
we keep putting out different characters. I guess was by gender, by sex. Well, it's sex, gender, same thing, but by race and all this other stuff. And he said that's what's killing comic book sales right now. And he ended up blaming that, and that became a big issue for the last couple of weeks on the show.
He came out. They put together the Retailers Summit a couple months ago, and he came out and said that during the Retailers Summit, and I think Axel Alonso said, came up with something along the lines, kind of backed it up.
Todd being the name dropper.
And then Gabriel was but the direct quote came from the vice president of marketing, and he said what we were hearing was diversity is not what our audience wants. What we were hearing, and I don't know if we can believe this or not, and he kind of tiptoed around it in the original quote, and it was probably taken out of context, but then it created sort of this backlash, and it wasn't so much. And then everybody came out with their own opinion about it. And a lot of people said something.
Unfortunately, media coverage on the internet is not a vacuum.
But to be fair to James, he's been drawing ducks this whole time. So there is.
Wow, talking about just limiting the man's work.
No, I'm just saying that his predominant work as of late has been drawing tremendous comics that were ducks. There's not a bunch of diversity among ducks, is there?
Yeah, there is.
Some of them are mallards.
All right. Some of them are mallards. Okay. All right.
They're all foul.
I totally missed.
They're all foul. Oh man,
I think that's the name of the show. By the way,
is Thor still abroad?
No, that's the name of the show. Is Thor still abroad? That is fantastic, Mr. Solani.
Thor,
that's fantastic.
Thor is still abroad.
All right.
That's fantastic.
That's right.
Like in France or like as a girl?
Yeah, she is.
There you go.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right.
So listen, let's to save your job or your commissions and to come in. We'll move on from that subject of diversity.
Can you draw me Thor as a
Because
duck?
I'm sure somebody's going to show the convention. Like, I saw what you said on the NERDWatch.
So she said on the NERDWatch, James.
I want Thor as a topless duck. Can you draw?
Sure.
Duck nipples? Like Howard the Duck?
No, they're called dits.
Oh, sorry, dits.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you remember that? You remember that scene from Howard the Duck where the animatronic duck is in the tub and you get to see her topless?
Oh God.
That's what we're referencing. So it's not. I don't really want you to draw me a topless duck.
Too late. I'm gonna run.
He's already got in the brain.
Watch on Free Comic Book
You've
Days,
already
like,
committed to
here you
that
go.
deposit.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Speaking of us,
I discovered myself to that movie.
we will get back to
Douglas.
Free Comic Book Day coming up here at My Comics and Collectibles during the end of the show. We'll talk about that. But before we get into that, I would like to know if anybody had the opportunity to tune into the premiere of American Gods.
No.
None of us have stars.
Okay. Well,
I'm waiting until Hulu picks it up.
according to Starz, the first episode is on their website and it's free. They said the first episode
all right.
is
They did
free.
the same thing with Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Every time they stream straight from their website, it sucks.
Oh, is it?
No, that's AMC. I thought.
Yeah.
Well, all of
It seems like not too many people have it, and Starz even knows that. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like they're trying to entice people to subscribe to them, and it never ever seems to work.
Right.
So according to the internet this week, you're complete cultural trash if you don't have stars for that,
Yeah.
and if you don't have Hulu for Handmaid's Tale.
Right.
I have neither, so
Handmaid's Tale, of course, is making it's making itself known because of the content, and that is apparently it's a very good show according to most reports. So I'm kind of interested in watching it.
Sure, you are.
Based on Margaret Atwood's fantastic novel.
Have you read it?
Don't lie. You didn't read it.
has it got pictures?
Yeah. Is it a comic?
No.
No.
But
How many pages does it have? That'll be a telltale sign,
She did release a comic book called Catbird Angel.
Oh, really?
With Johnny Christmas drawing the.
Sounds like an underrated classic.
Sounds like something Todd just made up just now.
I know it does, but it was a comic book she created when she was like a teenager, and so it always kind of stuck with her, and she finally finished writing it and then released it.
Well,
There was
that's
a Handmaid's Tale movie, right?
Oh, I don't know.
yes. A Handmaid's Tale movie came out with I believe it was Miranda Richardson, and it was
It was an underrated classic?
no.
Oh.
It actually was a more
It was classically underrated.
It was an erotic type of like Cinemax film or Showtime film more?
So it was underrated. So it was underratedly
One of
classy.
those.
I believe, yeah.
Emmanuel goes to Handmaiden.
Yeah, something to that effect, for sure. Yeah, that's pretty much what I believe what The Handmaid's Tale was in that respect. But I'd have to double check my history on that. But I know it was starred Miranda.
This is where there's gonna be a subtitle right below you that says he doesn't know what the hell.
Yeah, right. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
That was a different Cinemax movie.
All right, well, listen, we'll get a report for you guys on American Gods. We'll let you guys know how it was. I'm going to try and watch the premiere if I can and give you guys a report and see if it's worth taking a look at.
They're doing the comic. How's the comic doing?
Handmaid's Tale? What?
No. It was American Gods.
Yes.
Oh, it's
Handmaid's Tale comic.
it sells out.
Yeah.
It's about the Minotaur though. It's not like the
It's
human
not the
American
whole-
gods. Yeah, it's
Wow.
the fantastical stuff.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
That's weird.
But
I thought it was just a direct adaptation from the novel.
No, it's I think it's an offshoot of the story in the
That'd be
in the show.
adaptation, Todd.
Adaptation.
Anyway, moving on. Anything else before we get into the finale of the show? Anything else anybody want to talk about? Or anything
Disney announced
interesting?
their next roll of films till 2020.
That is right.
And Indiana Jones 5 is coming out in 2020.
Yes, that's right.
Because you want to sit on an Indiana Jones film for another 4 years, or 3 or 4 years.
Wait,
Well, they got it.
You would think with Harrison being as old as he is, that'd be one of the ones they push forward a little bit quicker.
you would want to make sure
don't want to spend that money.
Harrison is adequately dusty enough. 2020.
See, that's what the next Indiana Jones movie is going to be. Like, he's the artifact this time.
That would be kind of awesome.
Chris Pratt will be a new archaeologist, and it'll be like, what happened to Indy?
That would be awesome. He is.
Honestly, that already sounds better than whatever they're going to come up with for Indy 5.
Right. Indy is the Holy Grail. We find.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I think that'd be so cool.
When they find him, he's just sitting there punching a bunch of Nazis. They've lined up and he's just taking.
And it's Ian McClellan from App Pupil.
Yeah.
No, when they actually find him, he's still tied up with Karen Allen at the Ark of the Covenant. So that would be kind of awesome.
I just want to see him punching Shia LaBeouf.
Don't we all?
So any other exciting announcements other than Indiana Jones from Disney that you saw there?
I don't know. It's their rollout for the next bunch of films. It's a lot of ones you could predict. It's like Toy Story 4, Frozen 2,
Ant-Man and Wasp.
I think the Episode 9 of Star Wars is finally coming back out in May.
Right. We talked about that when you weren't here.
Oh, well, there goes that.
I thought kind of the most interesting thing of that Disney announcements was that officially there is no plans for Marvel Phase 4.
Yes, I had read that as well.
Yeah,
there are no
it's
official
all-
They're
plans
not
for
going
that.
to do a Phase 4.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to be Marvel's going to become something different at that point.
Yeah, Kevin Feige said
They're going to call
try
it
something
phased
new.
out. Sorry.
You do understand the hate and the
Sorry.
violence.
I'm really
around
surprised he
it.
didn't say played out. To be honest.
That would have been good.
What
That
what
would've been
is
good.
what is the rumor that is happening after
There's
this?
no rumor. Kevin Feige just said after Infinity War they're going to try something new. If I had to guess, a lot of the people that aren't going to want to stick around for further films, they're going to either be phased out. They're going to start with newer
It's gonna be
characters
just
and
like
stuff
the
like that.
comics, and they're going to re-release the first films again.
Well, actually, I'm hoping by that time they're going to move into, I don't know, maybe say Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah.
Something like that because
Because obviously Fox hasn't done well with them.
Yeah, that is true.
And maybe they'll get X-Men back.
I'm wondering if
Never
they're-
going to happen.
Never
Fox is making
gonna
too much money.
I wonder if they would bother even going back to these characters. I wonder if they're not even going back to these characters, and I wonder if they're just starting fresh. So we'll get other characters like Namor, like the Submariner, and
For all we know, Infinity War is going to culminate in like a whole universe rebuilding, and then they're just going to start from scratch. But then I don't know why you'd want to do that when you still have Guardians of the Galaxy going strong, and none of them are going anywhere anytime
And
soon.
obviously, James Gunn also hinted pretty strongly that Guardians 3 is going, which I think that's a really interesting thing. That
Guardians 3 is happening.
Yeah, within this whole, planned out Marvel universe, James Gunn has managed to dig out his niche with Guardians by creating that massive hit. And maintaining control in a universe, it's like you said, directors leave all those Marvel movies because they're just the control kills them.
Yeah.
And James Gunn has bullied his control in there. He's like, no, this is mine.
I don't know if it's so much he bullies control and just more of like where he's at in the scheme of things is
There's not a
so
lot of crossover.
disconnected that he
I mean,
has that carte blanche.
that gives him the room, but also, I mean, I don't think Disney planned to have this happen. That Guardians 3 is going to be beyond Avengers 4.
You got to remember that the rumor was, and I believe the rumor was the reason we got Guardians was because they didn't have the rights to Fantastic Four or the X-Men.
Obviously, yeah.
They needed another team, and this was the team that they picked. And lucky for us that they didn't have X-Men or Fantastic Four. We were able to see this new team, and this was a really
that
cool
nobody was
connection to
excited
Cosmic.
for, except for the sage Bruce Hennessy was super excited for it.
Super niche book, yeah.
And he was disappointed that it wasn't his Guardians.
Right.
I think there's
in the same camp.
very few of those people around.
Yeah, for sure. Were you a fan of the original Guardians?
Oh God, for the 70s.
Yeah.
I had a ton of those.
You don't look that old, James.
I'm going to be 50 this year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
I'm an old.
kind of like you, G.
Why don't you shut up, Gannon?
My comics were just I would get those at the local Sprouse Reeds 5 and dime store.
Mm-hmm.
They would have these packs of 10 comics for $1.
Okay.
Whatever the old whatever were the leftovers, and for some reason the DC pack was like House of Mystery and Legion of Superheroes and things like that, and then the Marvel side it would always be Tomb of Dracula, Guardians of the Galaxy, Conan. Stuff,
That's weird because Tomb of Dracula and Conan were awesome. House of Mystery, I for some reason that sounds vaguely familiar, like I've picked it up before. It's so weird when I was a youth.
House of Mystery is like their anthology haunted storybook, like
Yes.
Weird War Tales or House of Secrets, and
Okay, maybe
DC
that's
had a
why.
lot of those cool books like that.
Yeah. And so did you get to see Guardians in that pile of dollar comics?
Oh yeah, the old with I forget the name, the crystal guy and and Yondu was in those first ones, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Yondu was in the original,
right?
Mohawk too.
Yeah, and geez, who else was in those old?
I think Yondu is the only character to span from the 70s version to the modern version.
Right, and Star-Lord had his own comic in the beginning, right?
Yeah,
Before
he wasn't even Guardian.
Yeah,
He just was Star-Lord.
yeah, with the weird helmet and the goggles and the suit. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So you're excited that Guardians is a thing for Marvel, are you not?
I'm so happy with the Guardians. I like it for one reason more than anything else. So I am married.
It's diversity.
Yeah, well, yeah. My lovely wife is an attorney. She has no interest in anything comic booky or movie wise or anything that I like except for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really?
The only movie I've ever been able to get her to sit through more than once.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've watched it probably 3 or 4 times, and she's excited about seeing the new one too. So
Wow. So
that and Battlestar Galactica. We were
the
able to watch
original
it.
or the new one?
The new one.
The new one. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
The new one. We got the first one. I had her sit down and watch it. We watched it together. We probably plowed through that in a 2-week period. Watching all 4 seasons.
Yeah, that was actually a very good series.
It was amazing.
Yeah, that was a great series.
And then how did they come up with Caprica after that?
Yeah, that was
That was just.
I think that was prematurely canceled.
I didn't get.
Yeah, that was really strange. But ironically enough, I didn't know your wife was an attorney, and now I know why you're a comic book artist.
Yeah.
So, so thanks for the info, James.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is good on you, sir.
Hey,
That's fantastic.
somebody's got to have a real job.
That's awesome. But anyway, before we get out of here, this week in Blu-rays and DVDs, there's Rings, right?
Which I just watched.
You watched that. Well, and what was your take on it? Give us a mini review. What do you think?
It's skippable.
It's skippable.
It's a very skippable. Like there's one moment that like I feel like if this movie had come out like after the first one, instead of 10 or 15 years after the second one,
feels like
the movie
20.
might have played better.
Yeah,
because you would have been a little bit more invested in the first movie a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's like so weirdly disconnected. But it had some cool moments in it. Like they had like the whole opening is that some guy saw the tape and he's on a plane. And
right.
The next thing you know, she's coming out of the monitors in the airplane and stuff like that, which is kind of a cool thing. But then the rest of the movie is just as much as you'd figure.
How does she work?
It's like 10 years too late.
I was going to say, but how does she work in the age of the internet? That's what I'm always worried about.
Actually, that's kind of the only cool thing about the whole movie is that there's this strange... A professor gets the tape, and he kind of starts this weird... I don't want to say cult, but that's kind of what it is. Like, he kind of starts investing his interest in this tape, and he's, if you keep sharing it to people, you'll survive. So he keeps showing it to all these college kids, and there's like an art gallery for it, and all these things. They kind of build on the mythos a little bit, but again, it's so far removed from the other one time-wise that you're just like... You don't really care about it.
They made a second one?
There was a second one.
Wow. Yeah. I thought this was the second one.
No, there was a second one. There was Ring and Ring 2, and then now Rings.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying earlier before we were recording, like you're waiting for the Vincent D'Onofrio character to show up, and sure enough, Vincent D'Onofrio was in the movie.
Wow.
It was that predictable that I didn't even know he was in the movie, and I was just like, all right, eventually the Vincent D'Onofrio character showing up. And there he was.
Wow. That's insane.
And he plays exactly the character you think he would play in that movie.
Wow. Anything of note that we should be watching this week other than, since we're not watching Rings?
If you can find Colossal somewhere online, which I did, watch that. That's a good movie.
That's the new one with Anne
Nacho
Hathaway.
Vigalondo made that movie. The guy made Time Crimes.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway's in it.
Time Crimes is a fantastic movie, by the way.
Very overrated. I'm surprised more people don't like it.
Yeah. I really like Time
Very
Crimes.
overrated.
Did I say overrated?
Yeah.
Underrated. Sorry.
Yeah.
I said overrated.
Time Crimes is a Spanish film that if no one has a chance to see it is fantastic.
It's really good. Like for time travel stories, it's a really good one.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
It's better than Time Cop.
Yeah.
Oh,
There are very few movies that are better than Time Cop, and Time Crimes is one of them. So,
No, but if you can find Colossal, the concept is that Anne Hathaway is kind of a
Colossal, we're talking about. now.
Colossal, yes.
Yeah.
She's kind of a loser, and she's kind of a drunk and a party girl, and her boyfriend kicks her out, which is kind of unbelievable because it's Anne Hathaway. And at the same time, her
you're
life
too fun and pretty. Leave.
like the same time her life hits rock bottom, this big monster, like kaiju type of monster, starts attacking Seoul in Korea.
Okay.
And it seems to always appear when she kind of freaks out or whatever. So then after a while, she kind of figures out that she's kind of connected to it in a strange way. Because she goes to a park and then she lifts her hand up. The next thing you know, when she's watching when she's watching the monster on screen, the monster lifts his hand up. So it's connected to her in a strange way. It's a cool movie, but it's got a very strange whimsical tone to it. So if you're not tuned into that kind of movie, you might tune out of it because it seems like it'd be more dramatic and more about the giant monster stuff. But it's actually kind of like it's definitely a more indie kind of whimsical kind of tone.
Interesting.
But it's a good movie.
Didn't that got delayed?
Jason Sudeikis is in it, and he does not play the character you would think he would play in it.
Didn't it get delayed? I mean, wasn't it supposed to come out in like April?
I don't know. I know it's in limited theaters and then it hit streaming services. I know that.
Oh, crazy! I'm gonna check that out then. Fantastic.
It's good. Yeah.
I want to see the sequel with that and Cloverfield.
Oh, you mean Cloverfield Lane?
Yeah.
10 Clover. You haven't seen
No.
that?
I'm talking about like they did with Split and Unbreakable. So combine
both.
Yeah, combine
it's-
Cloverfield and
And then they're gonna do a mashup with Pacific Rim, and it's gonna be a whole thing.
It's gonna be a whole thing.
Then Michael Bay's gonna direct 4 through 5.
Oh
Pacific Rim
man,
versus Transformers.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Mr. Savani, James Savani, we have got to get out of here.
I
But
said
before
Michael
we
Bay.
do, where can we find you? Where can we follow you?
What?
Are you a social media guy?
I
What's the
am
deal?
far too much social media. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr. Is anybody go on Tumblr anymore? Yeah.
Is that even a site now?
What's that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Tumblr?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tumblr's.
I don't
Is that
know
like
what it is.
Friendster?
There's a lot of other Greg Rucka's on it, and a bunch of comic book guys are on it, and it's kind of like Instagram.
Yeah, but anybody important?
My friend James Silvani's on it, and but it's like Instagram except it's uncensored, so it's good.
Crazy.
And your handle is Silvani Art.
Silvani Art, yeah.
In most of those
Silvani.
places.
on all of them, so there you can find
All
him.
right, and you can find him. He can do commissions for you once he's healed up, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm getting ready for the convention season coming
Yes,
up.
and that, of
so-
course, means
Maui
Alika.
Comic Con in October.
Yeah.
But also, he's going to be here on Saturday, later half of the day, because he's such a good guy, and he does the library in Kihei. And we feel bad that you're even coming here from there.
No. I'd be
so-
more than happy to.
It's
We
a
appreciate
10-minute
having you.
drive.
Yeah.
And what is
I
it?
got to drive further than
I'm gonna be
Free
here,
comic book day. Free comic books.
and I'm gonna be pretending that I'm James.
You did pretty good last year.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do some. I'm
gonna bring
and
my own
also going to
folding
be
table.
here Saturday, May 7th?
May 6th.
6th. Saturday, May 6th. Tom Bernardi's going to be here as well. Tom Bernardi, the author
So
of
excited.
Cooley Project. Is that good?
Woo.
Yeah, is that good?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay,
That's
good. See, I was trying to talk you up a bit.
We got excited about somebody that's been here the whole time.
Oh, all right.
So May 6th, free comic book day. Come down, enjoy the free comics, enjoy the artists, James Silvani, Todd Bernardi. It's going to be a lot of fun. I was here
Stan Lee is
last.
gonna
I think
be
I was here for last year's free comic book day.
Nick Cage is gonna
And
be here.
real quick, what's your roster for con season? Just to give us a quick glimpse into the world of James Silvani.
End of June is Denver Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2 weeks after that is the Disney's D23 Expo.
You're going to D23?
Going to D23.
That's awesome.
That is my favorite convention to go to. 'cause
Last year
that's-
they had some really good interviews. There was a Darkwing Duck 25th, so they were doing panels and stuff.
Yep.
With
Actually, what was great was at that show they did I think it was the 20th anniversary of the Goofy movie.
Oh, really?
So they had the whole cast there, and they did a live
movie.
performance of the Powerline concert.
Wait,
Wow.
Pauly Shore wasn't there.
No, Pauly Shore wasn't there, but the
The main voice actors behind the groups.
Goofy and Max, and then the guy who did Powerline. What was the singer? Tevin Campbell. Tevin Campbell. Yeah.
Oh, really? Tevin Campbell was
Yeah, he
there?
did
Wow.
there, and they did a live Powerline concert.
Wow,
That is
that's
crazy.
awesome.
It was you can find it on
Crazy.
YouTube and a couple different places, but yeah, D23. Weird thing is that D23 is on the second weekend of July. Immediately 3 days after that is San Diego Comic Con.
And you're going, right?
I'm going to both of those.
Oh,
Yeah,
to San Diego
so that's
Comic-Con?
going to be nuts. Wizard World, I got a Wizard World Chicago after that, and then both of us will be at Rose City Comic Con. Yeah,
On purpose?
in September.
Yeah, we're sharing it. We're sharing a table.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
sharing a room.
Yeah,
You get to fill in for teams every time he goes on a bathroom.
Yeah.
You guys are sharing a table?
I'm gonna shave the beard.
That's
and
awesome.
it'll be. So I'll look more like James.
So
Well,
which
thanks. I was growing the beard.
Oh, he's gonna.
So which one of you is James Silvani?
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Well, they can draw good.
That's awesome.
He's the good-looking one.
Well, listen, guys. Time for us to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll be seeing you guys if you live on Maui at the Maui Mall Megaplex, Regal Maui Mall Megaplex, for the double feature of Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Prizes to give away, posters to give away. It's going to be a lot of fun. Please join us. It's going to be at 4:30 p.m. Get your tickets now online at regmovies.com. You can download the Regal app and get the movies as well. You guys are not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I guarantee it. We're going to have a blast.
Chris
so please
Pratt
join
will be
us.
there.
Stop it.
On screen.
Okay, good.
On screen.
He'll be on screen.
You mean in the movie?
Yes,
Yeah.
in the movie.
In the movie.
So
okay.
join us, please. The NERDWatch is proud to present Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and Volume 2 back-to-back double feature. It's going to be great.
Remember when Todd used to do prints for the premieres we did?
Yeah, he did. They were
those the good old
fantastic. Those are the good old days.
That was back when I still like being here. No, I'll do a baby group for you.
Oh, good.
There
Good.
you
I
go.
can't wait.
That's what I want to hear.
That's what I want to hear from you. That's
Is
the
that
kind
code
of...
for something?
Yeah.
I'll take a baby group.
It's like a hot lunch except
That's
dirtier.
cool, man. You did explain it.
All right. Well, listen. Please follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/The
Please.
NerdWatch. Follow us on
If you
Twitter
haven't
at
been turned away by
Yeah.
now.
Follow us on Twitter at NerdWatch Nation. Please follow us on YouTube at The _NERDWatch. This episode will be on YouTube, and you can actually watch another episode, I think, here, and you can subscribe to the podcast over there. So, or subscribe to our YouTube channel over there as well.
Oh, just a heads up. Audie shared the interview, the live feed, and said that we were the best interviewers he's ever been.
Fantastic!
He also
Audie's
went
the
on to
man.
say we're the only interviewers.
Well, by the way, Audie's interview,
But, by default.
Audie's interview will also be on our podcast site as well. You can check that out on iTunes and Audio Boom.
So if you guys missed that on the
if you
bad
missed it
Facebook
on the
feed,
bad Facebook feed, you guys can listen to it in full color and in full, I guess you could say, colorful language, courtesy of Audie, right here.
Wow, just throw him under the bus.
I did. iTunes and Audio Boom. And by the way, please follow us on Patreon, patreon.com/NERDWatch. Donate to the show if you enjoy the show, please. We actually are fully fan funded, and all donations even started $1. We certainly appreciate it. I'm just
We're
putting it out there.
self-funded.
Yeah, we're self-funded.
we're so funded.
We are so funded. And follow us on
And we do
Instagram.
this
That's the
every
name of the
week.
pod now. We are so funded.
Follow us on Instagram at _NERDWatch. So, James Savani, thank you so much for coming, sir. It's
Hey,
always
thanks
a
for
pleasure.
having me.
We love having you here. So, for Todd, for Gannon, for Format, for Alika, for myself, G Money, and the amazing James Savani, peace out, much love, and most assuredly, always stay nerdy. And until next week, we say to you guys, aloha. You're going to want to stay tuned next week. We got our reviews of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I'm gonna have a self-funded group, baby
Is
Groot.
Thor still abroad?
Yeah.